recording now?
It's technically going, but we haven't done the intro or anything, so it doesn't
Okay.
matter.
We always
really.
chitter-chatter a little bit before the intro.
Yeah, we get one big laugh, and then we say the intro, and then everybody says their names,
the
and then
intro?
And then Patrick says the N-word.
Yeah. and then the podcast is over.
Welcome to Anything.
Yeah,
Cast.
welcome to AnythingCast.
I'm Eric.
I'll say it.
Okay.
I'll say it. Welcome to AnythingCast.
I'm Eric.
I'm Patrick.
I'm Noah.
And Noah's back. Noah was on episode 7 or something. Why?
I had like 1 or 2 episodes.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so many episodes ago. So many episodes long ago.
Yeah, like the first 20 episodes you did or so. He was in some of those.
Yeah.
I remember listening to those when you first told me you had a podcast because I was just like, well, what the fuck does Patrick talk about on the internet? You know?
What did you think it was? Given honestly, what did you think at the time?
I didn't know. You showed me the channel. I'll review anything. I saw some of your like major reviews. I saw that you had already talked to like Pro Jared and a couple of other people, and I was just like, oh, fuck, really?
Yeah.
I was like, son of a bitch. Okay.
And then you thought to yourself, what does Patrick talk about on the internet? And you thought of,
Oh, I figured it was like, you know, like dicks and video games and stuff.
okay,
That's about right, yeah.
yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
about right.
Silly things in pop culture, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, kind of shit I used to talk to you about back in the day. It turned out I was right.
Yeah.
I listened to it for a minute. I was like, okay, yeah, it's still Patrick.
Yeah. I really haven't changed much in my entire life, especially since we met. I haven't changed much as a human being. You haven't
No.
either, for all intents and purposes.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned a lot more over the years, but core Eric has been mostly the same.
I've changed a lot.
Have you really?
Oh, yeah.
How'd you change, Noah?
I don't know.
I was just gonna completely say
I don't
no.
remember
you
that
haven't.
shit. That was years ago.
I do remember when I was younger, I was much happier as a person.
I remember that too. To be fair,
I don't. Was I? I would hazard to say I was not much happier as a person as a younger person.
well, unfortunately, getting older and more educated and like entering the world, and then kind of just looking at everything around you, it's just like the more you know, the less happy you become.
When I first started, the lunch ladies called me Smiley because apparently I was always smiling.
God
so-
damn, really?
Yeah.
That's the exact opposite of the modern day Noah.
Is it?
We could call you Scowly, and it wouldn't even be like a.
I don't know. He's always seemed chipper when he was around me, but I guess that's because he was never in a shitty situation. Most of the times, we were either playing games or he was coming by the movie theater I worked at.
Oh, I had
or we were just chit-chatting with you guys. I mean, it was like he never had any reason to be upset most of the time.
Kira said like you guys had met each other before, and I was like, yeah, I guess they have. Like they met at our old house, and then you like knew each other from the theater. Really, like Noah goes to the fucking theater, and then you were managing the theater.
I think I met Eric through Ivan, actually.
Did you really?
That's distinctly
think so.
possible.
I think Ivan was hosting D&D, and I think it was at Eric's house.
Really? You were there?
Yeah, it was the one by the U-Haul place, like that road right before it, when you lived there. Do you remember that?
Yeah, the little house on the hill.
Yeah.
the little house on the hill.
It was a little hill. And
It
a little
was. It
house.
was a little house on
I
a
mean,
hill.
I was renting it and it was cheap and it was not super nice.
You remember when your
but
brother pulled
I had
up
a big
with the
table.
No, it had some big ass roaches in it.
Tilt your,
It did. Okay, that you were definitely on. You're definitely correct.
Tilt your
That is
microphone
the
down
one.
a little bit, Noah.
Yeah,
That is the one.
I was scared to have my feet on the floor because I hate fucking roaches and I didn't want one to climb on me.
Why are you
Well-
scared of roaches, Noah?
Just be glad that you weren't sleeping
Patrick-
on the mattress that was on the floor in the other room.
How the fuck are you going to ask someone why they have a phobia? I don't fucking know, man.
I'm just
I mean,
like,
to
some
be
people.
fair, roaches are, I'd say, something a little less irrational
Yeah.
to have a phobia of. Kind of like heights.
I'd call it irrational because I don't think they can actually hurt you.
I mean, not directly, no. I
Wait, do
mean,
roaches bite?
They do, but I mean,
They
if
can?
you get eaten alive by roaches, you deserve to die. Like, I mean, like you did not even try
Yeah.
to preserve your
Also,
life.
it's like
you were
they-
committing suicide.
They
or
can,
something.
but a roach's first instinct if it encounters a human is to run away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're completely still and sitting on the ground, like there are people who had like roach bites because they were like sleeping in absolute squalor or
Yeah.
something like that. But they're small. They're not a big deal.
I
I
assumed
mean, they are a
traumatic
sign
experience.
of incredible like squalor. If you see a
Yeah,
human
yeah.
with roach bites, they might have been like a hostage or
Yeah.
something. Like they were being kept in a like cupboard, like Harry
also,
Potter or
like
something.
the small ones specifically, like here in Mississippi, like you have the fucking big ass tree roaches. Like,
yeah, those are called water bugs by some, and
Yeah.
they are foul and scary and super harmless. They don't
Yeah.
they're
carry
foul, scary,
nearly
and
as
super
many
harmless. They're
diseases
also
as the
not
little
usually a
ones.
sign of squalor so much. They're like, you probably went to go get the mail or something late one day and it ran in.
Yeah, they're fucking everywhere.
Yeah, I think my problem was that the house was raised up off the ground, so there were crevices for them to get in, and there were a lot of
Yeah.
pine trees nearby, and they love them some pine trees. They're fond of them.
So I had a question for the table, like an actual talking point.
Okay.
We talked about this a little bit in the car when we went to go get Noah, but we were reminiscing on the first time an adult gave us an alcoholic beverage.
Ah,
Yeah.
up on the board over there, I see.
I as the resident alcoholic, Eric, I feel like you probably have a story about this.
Oh no, that was quite tame.
Okay, never mind.
No, my mother, when I was like 15, 16 or so, just to introduce it to me in a like controlled environment.
She
would
gave
let
you a
me
bottle of
drink,
Everclear?
Like, no, it was white Zinfandel mixed with Sprite.
Mixed with Sprite. Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah, it's
That's-
super easy to drink.
I don't doubt that.
it's a
white
spritzer.
Zinfandel and Sprite, dude.
Spritzer. It basically, your standard white Zin is going to be like roughly 10% alcohol.
Yeah,
So you cut it half and half with Sprite. You've just got a fizzy, grapey beer,
basically, yeah.
basically, because it's like roughly 5% or 4%, which is your average beer. That's like 9%. That's different. That's a Andy Gator.
Do you know what
That's
Boone's
8%? I think.
Do you know what Boone's Farm is? I figured you might. You worked in a liquor store, so I'm sure you know what it is. Noah, do you know what Boone's Farm is?
I know what Boone's Farm is.
So far down the line of wine, we didn't sell it.
Really?
That's how far down the line Boone's Farm is. We did not sell it at that liquor store.
My
At all.
my first drink was Boone's Farm, and no adult gave it to me. I found it in my grandmother's refrigerator, and it said watermelon on the front of it. And I thought it was watermelon juice.
Well, to be fair, Boone's Farm is only like 3% alcohol, so
I know.
you could like down that shit, and Kitty
so
Patrick
I did.
probably had kind of a good time.
So I did. So I made myself a glass of it, and then I said, and I drank that, and I was like, this is really good. So I just grabbed the bottle, and I took the bottle into the living room my grandmother and my mother were, and I just sat in front of the space heater with a bottle of Boone's Farm. I remember my mother being like, Patrick, and me being like, yes, ma'am. And then my grandmother being like, no. Let him have it.
Your story's a lot better than mine.
Yeah,
that's pretty
mine was
good.
all safe and normal.
And then I sat there and I just drank the Boone's Farm like straight out of the bottle, and I drank the whole bottle. And I remember at some point
How old
getting
were you?
8, 7.
Oh, that is not good for your development.
Yeah. So
You don't say.
yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, if you were like 12 or 13, I'd be like, okay, a single bottle of Boone's Farm. Yeah, that's probably enough to give him a tummy ache. Give
Yeah.
him, like letting them, like making them smoke the whole pack of cigarettes, but trick them into doing it themselves.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like, okay, this could be a good learning. The 8's a little low. I
I
feel like you got a lot of sensitive little organs in there.
I drank all of it, and then I remember getting really dizzy. And the only thing I know that happened was at some point I was so dizzy that I leaned back and I leaned straight into the space heater, which was like one of those like gas powered space heaters.
This thing had open flames.
Yeah, it
in
had an
a
open
metal
flame.
box.
Yeah. And I just leaned into it, and like my jacket was made out of like vinyl or something.
Oh,
and
no.
It just went straight through my jacket and into my back. And I leaned up. I was like, oh, ow. And then
And you had that slow alcohol response
yeah.
to pain.
and I got up and I apparently fell asleep. And when I woke up, I just had a jacket with like big 3 lines in it.
No.
And I slept until like 10 p.m. or something. Like
At least it didn't catch on fire or melt into your back or something.
No. And my mother was like the distance from me to you, like she was right there.
Okay, so she watched your little dumbass smoke for a
Yes.
minute and said, he's okay.
Yeah. She was like, all right. I fell asleep with a pillow, and then I slept for like 12 hours straight.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't remember what I did that night. I was probably drunk until the morning, honestly. I mean, an 8-year-old drinks an entire bottle of Boone's Farm. It's going to be quite a drink. What about you, Noah? What was your first drink? Do you remember?
It was like what Eric said. It was really tame.
Really?
I don't remember what the drink was. I know it was a type of beer, but we were just saying it was in Juarez, and I was just running around being, a little kid who just discovered that he could run. So, and the adults were all chilling, and I didn't know what type of beer it was. I just knew it was something that the adults drank that I wasn't allowed to have.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, do you want to try this? And I was like, sure. And I tried it, and it tasted fucking awful.
Yes, beer tastes terrible to a child's palate.
Yeah.
Is awful.
And everybody had a good chuckle at my expense,
good laugh.
I guess. Yeah.
And you threw up all over yourself, and then
I didn't throw up.
No, you were a little man.
A man.
Now you're a man.
I remember my mom drinks Corona, and my mom gave me
a decent beer.
Yeah, my mom gave me Corona at an Outback Steakhouse. That was my first time drinking beer, and I really liked it. And then everybody at the table thought it was really funny that my little ass was like, "That was really good," because they expected me to hate it.
Did they give you the lime?
I think so. They gave me salt and I don't remember that there was lime though.
You're supposed to, shove a lime wedge into
the Corona.
Mm-hmm.
If they did that, then my mother did it. My mom did it for me.
Yeah, because I was about to say that really, the other beer I have in there is a Michelob Lime Cactus.
Oh yeah, those are delicious.
They are.
Yeah.
That Michelob has become kind of my beer of choice. Not because I care about the Bud Light trans thing, just because they got that bomb-ass fucking lime beer.
What, dude? You telling me you don't? You're saying Eric says trans rights are not rights? Or what is the fucking? I don't even know the quote.
I thought the reason people were mad at Bud Light was because they were on the trans rights or rights train.
Yeah.
And Eric says that's not true.
No. I'm saying that argument didn't factor into my decision, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. You just drank it because it tastes good?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. You gave that to me the first time I went over to your house while we were going to record, and I drank 2 of them, and I was like, this is amazing. And then
they're delicious. They're so refreshing. It's so much better than a regular beer.
Yeah. I went home and bought some.
What?
A Michelob Lime Cactus?
No.
It sounds disgusting.
Have a taste off of mine. I'm already exposed to the liver. I don't care. It's all good. If I got it, it's already there.
Pour it into the shot glass.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
there you go.
It might have a little bit of rum spice on the back end, but
that's all right.
Here. I'll just go ahead and do this right now.
Do it. I don't care. Live on the podcast. Live recording of pouring a Michelob Ultra. That's the content that people love, dude.
Wouldn't be the first time we did drugs on the podcast.
I feel like I'm missing some context here.
Eric did meth on the podcast one time.
Damn, Eric.
No, they went to my house and I was smoking pot.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
My God. He's quite a degenerate.
That thing I do at my house.
The devil's
all
lettuce.
The other thing is, ever since I matured as an adult, I basically only do it at my house.
What,
tastes like
weed?
Tastes like weak lime juice.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. As far as a really easygoing beer, especially when it's hot outside, it's a great summer beer. If you're sitting, I got a lake in my backyard now.
Oh, nice.
I know, right? I fell back asswards into property ownership.
Nice.
My wife's family just owns property, and now I have a lake in the back of my house.
Oh, look at this guy.
I know. He's so fancy. Right. He's like, oh, I'm a fucking property owner.
I mean, you want to come fishing, you can come fishing.
Yeah.
Sans a fishing license, because we own the lake and the fish in it.
You can't own the lake.
Yeah, we can.
That's God's lake, dude.
It's God's lake.
Here's the thing. We levied the land, filled it with water, and stocked the fish.
Okay.
You did that?
In all seriousness, I thought you can't actually own a body of water in Mississippi.
I don't know. I have no fucking clue.
I mean, did the fish hatchery people not own their little ponds?
I'm not sure.
I
think technically you can own the land around it, but I don't think you can actually own the body of water itself, is what I'm getting at. Not that it matters.
There might be, but it's like a lake the size of a small football field.
Well, I was about to say, not that it matters, because technically you still control access to the lake.
Yeah, you'd have to trespass on my property to get to the lake, and I could legally murder you for that.
What the fuck is it?
You could.
What the fuck is a small football field?
I don't know. It's
smaller
like a
football
field, but with the edges shaved
It's the
off.
Pee Wee field, Patrick.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it's kind of oblong shaped. It's longer, and then it's shaped kind of like that.
Aren't soccer fields actually bigger than football fields?
I have no fucking clue. He was saying oh, you'd have to trespass on my land to get in my lake, and I was like, not if they bring a fucking helicopter. They come over like fucking SWAT and drop down.
Would just
Airdrop into the lake.
in between like
Taking it
the
over,
trees
dude.
to get there.
They hook into the lake and then pull it out of the ground. They're taking it with them. That belongs to them.
They just airlift the lake.
I think at that point they can have it.
Yes.
If you're willing to go through all of that effort, be like, it's
Look,
yours
man,
now.
I've got like plenty of shotguns. I got pistols. I don't really have anything to fight against wizards. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I mean,
Or helicopters, honestly.
You could just fill the crater they left back. Back in water.
There you go.
can take down a helicopter with small arms fire. I mean, if they got close enough to the ground, I could at least shoot the pilots. Like, I have some
fucking.
I mean,
you out there shooting everything you've got at a helicopter, just going buck wild.
If they were like invading and attacking me, I'd be aiming at the pilots with the deer hunting
you
rifles.
ain't gonna take my lake.
I have a fucking Mosin Nagant
Literally.
back there.
Yeah.
That thing has fat boy bullets in it. That's old World War II style, bitch.
Yeah,
It has a fixed bayonet thing that can swing out.
it's a big ass.
Bear-
It's a big ass bullet.
The kind of
no
bullets
shit,
that
but
people in World War II had in their standard issue rifles.
All right.
8mm Mauser.
I got you.
That's it. Is it 30-06 or 308 that the M1 Garand shoots?
I have no fucking clue.
I think it's 30-06.
Of
I think
course,
so, too.
Noah's
It's a big
knows.
boy bullet, though.
What the fuck does that mean?
I am the podcast not know about guns boy. That's what that means. I am the only human being that is on this podcast ever who knows nothing about a gun when like a question about a gun. And my father,
No bare bones
my
basics about
father-
guns. You own a gun. And
my
you can
father
operate
tried
it.
to get me to learn everything there was about guns.
Oh, stop that! That fucking thing is cringe. Now.
Yeah, of
Don't-
course yes.
Don't.
Yeah, and this podcast is not,
Don't.
Eric. You're correct.
Okay.
We are a very serious, non-cringe podcast.
Okay.
You're
Yeah.
cringe.
Shut up, Noah. You're gay.
Nah, it's just the Joker obsession shit just got old really fast.
I had a picture of him on my wall as a teenager, Eric. I
Look.
want you to know.
I'm not saying that the character
That actually
wasn't
is cringe.
awesome.
Shut up, Noah.
I mean, at the time it was acceptable.
What did you have
Like
on your
the
wall
people who
as a
still have
child?
their fucking profile pictures of the Joker like now and shit though.
Oh, my wife's
Those people.
brother. My wife's brother, dude. I swear to God. Not even joking. That's the family she comes from. He's a fully grown 33-year-old
Well,
man.
I met her dad.
He's got the Joker.
33-year-old with the Joker?
The Joker?
I'm the Joker, baby.
Mr. J.
God damn it.
I'm gonna do that the next time he shows up.
Oh my god.
Mr. J.
Good characters ruined by overexposure.
Yeah.
I
think he's
going to
turn around and leave if you do that.
But don't claim their fandom.
Yeah, of course not.
Like
Who
I
does?
think those are great characters that a lot of really talented authors and comic writers have done amazing work with and create amazing art for, good movies even. Margot Robbie's one of the only passable things about the first Suicide Squad.
I don't like
movie.
that. I don't like what they do with her with the second one either. I feel like there's a lot of character assassination for Harley
God.
in the
I just
Suicide
watched-
Squad verse.
I just watched the second one the day before yesterday. I had never,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
never
really?
watched the first one. I just watched the second one, and all the Harley Quinn shit was like the most boring shit in the movie.
They overplay it, man.
In the
It's-
first one, they kind of ignore the fact that she's a literal abuse victim and just
Yeah.
kind of make her obsessed with the Joker because
And in the second one, from what I can tell, she's just wild. She's crazy, but wildly capable to like a comedic degree.
Yeah, I also don't like them putting Harley Quinn up against things that she shouldn't rationally have any kind of like chance against.
Yeah, like Starry.
I mean,
the
you can
fucking-
do
Yeah.
that. Like, you can do that every now and again, just to illustrate how she's actually very smart and competent.
Yeah.
And she somehow like tricked Superman into doing something by being really clever. You could do that.
well, she has a PhD in psychology.
Exactly.
Yeah, like,
That's
you
what
know,
you need to
you can
play
do
to.
that.
Yeah.
But you can't play it every fucking time. She's just a doctor.
Yeah,
She's just a doctor with a
with
bat.
a huge personality disorder.
yeah.
Like, she's not a fucking supervillain. I mean, she deserves bare minimum level supervillain.
Eric is triggered right now. Are you seeing this?
I was actually
But,
about to
like-
say, like, a lot of the Batman villains, though, if you think about it, are just like crazy person with X.
Yeah.
Yes, but you have to play it within its boundaries.
Oh, did you see they're
True.
making that Penguin movie?
You know,
Yeah, I mean,
them
Penguin's just a
dangerous.
rich dude, if you think about it.
Yeah,
He's
they're
always
making
just
a
been a rich dude.
they're making a movie out of him though.
He just has
Penguin's
various
just a rich dude.
amounts.
Joker's just insane. Scarecrow's just a guy with like a chemical formula.
That's another doctor. He's just a doctor with a. How many of them are just doctors? Now?
Yeah, but
Doctor Freeze, Scarecrow.
Well, you
Harley
heard it
Quinn.
here first. Batman hates doctors.
Good God, how many
Batman
people-
versus the healthcare system.
Good point. How many fucking villains are doctors?
I swear to God, a lot of his villains are just doctors.
the Man-Bat was like a doctor. Or
They have to be
something, wasn't
smart.
he?
Wait,
And
was
then
the Riddler? Was
Mr.
the Riddler a doctor?
No, he wasn't a doctor.
I thought. Well,
Enigma.
Edward Nigma.
I may be thinking of the movie, but wasn't the Riddler like someone who worked for him?
Yeah, he worked for Wayne Enterprises.
He did in the movie, yes, but his origin stories vary in the comics.
Oh, okay.
He's always just a crazy smart person, though, who's obsessed with, riddles and fame and being the smartest person in the room and proving it to everyone in contrived manners. I heard actually one of the best things I ever heard. It was at H. Huckabee or something. I don't know what the channel was. He does
I
really
Heart
well.
Huckabees?
No. Some Hugbees something. I don't know. It's a relatively popular YouTube channel, but he was talking about the Riddler being the best Batman villain, and I was like, go on.
Mr. Freeze is the best Batman villain. Followed closely by Poison Ivy because she's hot.
I'm not going to validify his argument because I don't even remember all the
fuck up.
shit he brought up. But he said the best Riddler thing is this comic book, right? And what it is it's slightly bigger than your normal one. It's a choose your own adventure thing. So you go in, and as you read each page, it says like, if you want Batman to do this, turn to page blah blah blah.
Those rule,
If
dude.
you want him to do this, turn to page blah blah blah.
The Goosebumps ones
And
are awesome.
Every time you go through it, you fail. You fail. You fail. And the idea is that you're going to keep going back and going like, okay, well, I died, so then I'm going to go back to my last decision and make a different one, right?
Yeah.
You keep doing that, and Batman dies. Every single time. And the hostages are killed every single time. The boat blows up every single time. Here's
His
the
parents
trick.
die every single time.
Well, yeah, that has nothing to do with the Riddler, though.
Okay, well, yeah.
Here's the trick, though. What you have to do is read it like a book.
oh, I thought you were
You
gonna...
don't play by the Riddler's rules. You go one page at a time and just read it in sequence. And as you do, there'll be pages that were never asked for you to flip to,
Oh, yeah.
where the Riddler starts complaining about you not following the rules and tries to tell you to do other stuff. You just keep flipping through, and that's how you get to the ending where Batman defeats the Riddler.
That fucking
'Cause
rules,
Batman
dude.
goes around the
Yeah,
corner.
that's pretty neat.
That's
Yeah.
so fucking clever, right?
That's like-
that's
Yeah,
such
yeah.
a good
I like
idea.
that.
Oh my god.
That's
I
a
was like,
Hideo Kojima back of the CD case
right?
type of shit.
Like that. That is clever writing.
That doesn't make the Riddler the best Batman villain.
No,
that makes
but
that
I
a
will
damn
say
good book.
That like if you get the right writer,
yeah.
you can do a goddamn good story with some of
Same
these
thing with
characters.
fucking Superman.
That was actually what I was thinking.
Yeah, Superman,
Superman
is
is-
as good as the writer is.
Yeah, like, he's so bland and generic that,
That's not.
you got to be careful because if you write for Superman, people will see the exact quality of your writing.
I don't know if
You
it's.
know?
I don't know if this is OG Superman, but there was a version of Superman where he was presented as someone who was remarkably kind. Rather, like that was his thing. Is that like it
Sure.
wasn't that he was like it wasn't just his powers. It was that he was just a really inspiring and like kind person to talk to.
Yeah, that's kind of the mainline Superman. To
Yeah,
this
I know.
day.
I'm just saying that's not really bland though. Like, think of how many people you fucking met, and like tell me how many
to
of them.
actually continue to try to be nice.
Yeah,
See, it's people who write good.
that's fucking hard.
That's the trick. When you write a good Superman story, you have to get around stuff like there's plenty of good stories being written, especially right now, that try to constantly do the subversion trope. Just like, what if Superman but bad?
What if he was
I
calm?
hate those. I hate it, man. I can't
and,
fucking stand it.
Don't get me wrong, plenty of those stories are competently written, but at this point, it's becoming a trope.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, the whole point of Superman is that he has these like infinite godlike powers, but the conflict isn't even usually the conflict. It's him trying to make sure that he uses them responsibly without being the villain.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
Yeah,
terrible
exactly.
person. It's being this paragon is his conflict. and good writers can levy that. Like there was a huge, a really good story, super short, where Superman just takes time out of his day to stop a woman from jumping off a building who was about to commit suicide.
Yeah, I remember
he just
that,
shows
like,
up and talks to her.
He was there for like 2 days or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Superman couldn't jet off and do something real quick and then come right back. He's fucking Superman.
One of my favorite Superman scenes isn't even like an action scene. It's literally like it was him and I think either Batman or Wonder Woman. There was another like Justice League member with him, and they were just following up on something at a park, and like 2 security guards walk up, and they kind of like chit chat for a bit, and the scene ends with one of them saying, we think that this park could definitely be safe with you two, with the 2 of you here. And Superman says, no, it'll be safe with the 4 of us here.
Oh,
and I was like, that's my favorite fucking scene with Superman in it.
Goddamn, Superman.
Yeah, for real.
He's like, look, I'm fast, I'm strong, I'm powerful, and I am just me. If you keep watching over here, you can keep more people safe than if it was just me.
Also, he's not a police officer. Who are the true heroes? Let's be honest.
Well, those guys weren't needed. They were security guards.
Yeah, I would say at least half of all police officers are definitely heroes.
Yeah, at least half.
Some of them are kind of shitbags, but it just comes with the territory. I've said it on the podcast before. You can show me, 48 hours of footage of just the police beating the fucking brakes off of people, and I'll be like, where's the context? Isn't that what we pay them to do?
Especially
as long as those were bad people who were trying to do a violence.
The context is that you shouldn't be paying them to do that.
Especially with Will on the episode, then they'll start arguing about Will being a filthy red-blooded commie, and then Will just proudly being a communist on the podcast as loud as humanly possible.
That's the actual context, because like policing, the government should never make it its business to inflict harm on its citizens. Full stop.
Sometimes the only way to stop people from harming other people is to harm the person doing the harm.
Sometimes that's true.
So
at no point does that mean you should have a video of government employees in any capacity, police officer, like soldier, whatever, beating the brakes off of what is ostensibly an American citizen and think, oh, this is a great thing that happened. This was a necessity, I'll grant.
Well, that's what I'm saying is it doesn't I'm not saying it makes me happy per se, because that means that guy probably had to rape a child before these police officers started
exactly.
beating the brakes
And all
off
people, all rational people rather are saying is that
thing.
Maybe we should try to improve the system so that these situations at the very least happen less.
Oh, no argument there.
Hell yeah, dude.
Absolutely. No.
Less child rape?
There.
I think we can all agree.
Yeah, I would hope so. I would fucking hope so.
The weirdo that you run into that doesn't agree with that, you let me know. We'll all fucking jump in. Then we'll be the police officers.
No, both of you live in fucking Mississippi.
Oh, the police.
You know for a fucking fact. It's not even police. You know for a fact. You've probably spoken to someone today who's just like, no, we should just leave things the way they are. Beat the shit out of people, brother. No trial, no jury.
It's true, yeah.
I mean,
you'll run into KKK
and that's
members.
a flawed, thing. Obviously, you hear someone did something absolutely terrible. You want to go kick their ass.
Yeah.
It's a normal fucking feeling.
That's a human reaction, yes.
And that's why we made the court system.
That is why the court system exists.
That's why we said there has to be a system in place so that we don't all just get up out of our chairs and lynch people.
We had an episode called Judge Eric, because Eric would be the worst judge in the world.
So we don't Emmett Till someone? Yeah,
Emmett Tilling people is bad.
Would you have been a judge?
That's why there are hundreds of museums dedicated to that one fucking event.
Would you have been part of the legal system? If your life had gone that direction, do you think you could have seen yourself being part of either a police officer or a lawyer, or part of the court system?
I could see myself being a judge or a lawyer.
Yeah. Were you the kid the kid where all the adults in your life were like, yeah, you'll make a great lawyer someday because you're a good little arguing little shit?
I mean, yeah, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Did people say that to everybody? Did people say that to every child?
I think if you like to argue as a child, people would say that to you.
Every time I had to fucking upsell at the fucking movie theater, people would always make the same lame fucking joke. You should have been a car salesman.
Oh my god.
It's like, bitch, I am reading from a script.
Yeah. Do you want the bigger bucket of
We're literally almost chosen verbatim by the fucking corporate office. I am only doing what I was told. Nothing more, nothing less.
To be fair, like a big part of salesmanship, like Patrick probably would make a good salesman just because he's like conventionally aesthetically pleasing to look at. Patrick's a handsome fucking dude.
To be fair, he's not wrong. That's part of it.
Yeah, that plays a big part in like actually being able to sell shit to people. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, but if you laugh at somebody like a cackling fucking ape, like I just did, then it immediately turns
definitely
them
don't
off.
do that. But
being a 6 foot tall,
being 6 foot tall,
well-spoken,
blue-eyed,
relatively, like
fucking,
you know,
don't tell them my eye color.
Like,
No,
I'm telling them your eye color, Patrick.
God damn it, Patrick, cut that out.
Take a fucking shower, say please and thank you, and you can sell shit to a lot of fucking people.
Aw, thank you, Noah.
Shut the fuck up.
If only I had blonde hair, I could be a beautiful Aryan man selling cars.
Now I'm just thinking about the times I had
and if
to,
I had horns, I'd be a fucking bull.
Scream, got borderline screaming matches with customers about COVID. Let me stop thinking about.
Oh my God.
I moved away from that for a very good reason.
Is there anything worse?
You had fucking like Walmart. I had retail.
Yeah.
Hey, man. I mean, we were in 2 different circles of hell. I respect you.
Let me just say now.
With retail.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, I mean, just about Walmart. That's that's almost as good
Jesus
as the tour
Christ.
in Iraq.
Yeah,
except it's slightly more dangerous.
Do they make you upsell stuff at Walmart? Is there any thing you have to pitch
They
to
encourage you to, but they can't actually make you.
What do they encourage you to
How
upsell?
the fuck do you upsell
at Walmart?
So the end caps and the 4-way things?
No. Oh, you mean at the edges of the aisles?
You're in charge of those. You're responsible for those.
In what capacity?
In if you have items that are holiday items, as in there's a limited amount of these and they want these sold and they don't sell, that's somehow your fault.
Like what? For chocolate Easter bunnies?
Like chocolate Easter bunnies.
Okay. And if they don't sell, that's
Christmas
on you?
baubles, that's on you.
Special movie or the holiday themed, if all the.
So what do they expect you to fucking do? Go out there and be like, have you noticed my chocolate Easter bunnies on the end?
You gotta sell all the Cap'n Crunch with the Christmas pictures on it. Everyone's gonna know they're old. It's getting to February.
They expect you to stage these 4-ways and end caps to maintain them, and they do expect you to fucking manipulate customers into buying this shit.
You would have to be a
with your minimum wage skills, Patrick. You take this $7 an hour.
Here's the contract. We will pay you literally as little as possible.
Pay you actual dog shit.
And if you don't try your absolute best, we will fire your ass.
Also, we're going to pull you off the floor at random intervals.
What? So they should just hire a Machiavellian mastermind to walk around the Walmart.
They should hire Ivan?
Hire Ivan to do that job. Just let that be his job, and then pay him a living wage.
Do you not remember his story?
No. What?
Oh shit.
He slapped what's the term for something that's marked down heavily? Clearance. He slapped clearance signs on a bunch of hummus.
Yeah.
Because they wanted him to get rid of it. And it sold. It flew off fucking shelves because people thought it was on sale. It wasn't.
They never checked. Oh my god! They just thought the price was a
sale. And then his
sale
manager, the store manager, noticed this and was like, "Hey, that's not actually on sale, is it?" And I was like, "No, it's not." And he was like, "All right, you're not in trouble. Don't ever do that again."
Did you tell them it wasn't you?
This was Ivan, not me.
I thought they said it to you.
He was saying it in first person. That's all.
Okay.
No, he was just telling the story from Ivan's perspective.
I mean, what else is he gonna do? Seriously, I'm trying to think.
Your only other option is to actually discount them. If you want them to fucking go faster, then you have to give the customer.
You're asking questions that don't have an answer, man. What else is he gonna do? Nothing. He's a minimum wage retail employee.
He's not gonna do fuck all.
Yeah.
He's gonna go to back and get high with the stalkers.
Pop pills,
pop pills, go down, then drink the coffee to go back up because they make that strong.
Masturbate in the bathroom because the company's time is not valuable.
He's gonna go fuck one of the cashiers in the freezer.
I mean, literally fuck all.
Well, here's a good question.
Paid minimum wage, then you're gonna get minimum motherfucking effort.
What is the best thing that ever happened to you at a retail minimum wage job?
The best thing that ever happened to me?
Yeah, what's the best thing? Well, what was where you're I still to this day, you're that fucking rules that happened.
Free coffee.
Free coffee?
That was
Hell
it.
Yeah, dude.
Whenever I worked at Books A Million many years ago, I met a huge gaggle of gay people and drag queens who sold me weed.
Oh, that actually is pretty good.
Yeah, I went to their house, watched fruit baskets, got a shotgun from a gay man. That man can blow.
Okay.
Let me tell
Yeah.
ya.
Yeah. I see.
I feel like shotgun is not referring to a firearm here.
Yeah. Well.
No. A shotgun is when you turn a blunt around backwards in your mouth, and then, well, if you want to be really gay about it, you can just kiss. But otherwise, you
No
interlock
kiss.
hands. You interlock hands and lock pinkies like that, and then they blow outwards, and it blows the smoke out instead of in. And then you.
So did he blow you afterwards? Is that how that transaction went?
No. No, I only got the one blow.
Okay. Unfortunate. Yeah. Unfortunate.
Only the one with the weed.
I was selling. I
wasn't super into dick at the time.
Did you just smoke weed? What's wrong with your throat?
I mean, I did before I got here, but that was like
at the
40
time.
minutes ago now.
So you're super into dick now?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I haven't. But in all fairness, I have come to the overall conclusion that at the end of the day, if I was compatible enough, like intellectually and romantically, with a transsexual who, for all intents and purposes, looked exactly like a woman but had a penis, I think I could get over it.
I follow the traditions of the ancient Romans.
So as long as you shove it between a man's thighs and just come under his balls, it's not gay.
Well, I said it's more like if someone looks feminine enough and they're willing to be the one on the receiving end, like, okay.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I'm attracted to women. But if a man looks enough like one,
I walked into the.
As I said,
I was selling clothing at a store one time, and I
the
walked
traditions of the ancient Romans. You see,
I was selling clothes at like a women's clothing store one time, and that was my job. And then I walked into the bathroom, and my cousin and I worked there, and he came in shortly after me. And I was just at the urinal, and he went to the sink to wash his face or whatever. And he looked down below the sink, and there was $600 in cash, just in hundreds, on the floor. And I was,
right.
Yeah.
Sorry, cash on the floor is immediate.
Yeah.
That is not a fucking. If there's no
It's
one
not
standing,
it's
right
not a tip.
there,
no.
Unless I saw you drop it. If I saw you drop it, I'll pick that shit up and give it to you because I do not want someone to lose a huge amount of money. That sucks. That might fuck up your life. I don't know.
My cousin just looked at me and
But
said,
cash on the ground.
Nobody lost $600 fucking dollars, man.
Exactly.
This is what I always say to that. If I see $600 on the ground and you're walking past and you didn't drop it, and I pick it up and say, "Did you drop this?" You're gonna answer, "Yes, thank you.
Of course.
Thank you so much."
Yeah, you're gonna say,
Right,
especially if it's $600 fucking dollars. Like, yeah, I dropped that.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't ask people if they dropped it. That if it's cash. Now, if it's a wallet,
I will if
it
it's a
doesn't
small
matter how
amount.
much cash is in it.
I will admit, I will if it's a small amount. Like when I was at Walmart, like
I'll be even less.
it was like 10 fucking bucks. I was like, "Hey, did you drop this?" He was like, "Yeah, sure." And I was like, "I don't give a fuck. This guy's lying."
Of course, yeah. It's
Fuck
$10.
no, that's my $10.
My cousin just looked at me and said, "I'll give you half of this if you don't tell anybody.
I'm gonna go buy a pizza.
Give me all of it and I won't
or
tell anyone.
Dime bag or something. I don't know.
You give me one kiss and I won't tell anybody."
Give me a kiss.
That reminds me of that general question that you can ask anybody of if you're walking through the woods and you come across a briefcase with $10 million in it in cash.
Oh, that's mine now.
Yeah, are you taking it? Or are you
Absolutely.
assuming that you're gonna get?
What if I take 1 mil and leave the 9 mil for whoever left it there? I don't need a lot.
Yeah, are you getting No Country for Old Men? If
Yeah.
Now I got police contacts and lots of firearms and a fuck ton of dogs. I say, come at me, bitch.
Yeah, I guess.
No, I'm gonna take a stack and hope they don't get too mad.
Yeah, take one small stack.
Yeah, right. Like, I'm
take
set.
Yeah.
I'm set. I'm gone.
I'm gone. This will pay my mortgage for the next forever.
Here's what you do.
I'm good.
Here's what you do. Take half of it, spread all the rest out in the briefcase, and then burn it.
This guy's diabolical.
What
What
the
the
fuck?
fuck? Yeah, right.
I thought
No.
I thought it was
Here's-
Eric, not Ivan.
Here's
that we
what
had on the
happens.
podcast.
They come back.
Put
all
clearance
they
on the
see
on the
is the
briefcase.
burnt briefcase with burnt money in it.
True. They think you burnt
They
all
can
of it.
never know how much was burned or not.
There you go.
All
See?
they know is that it was destroyed.
Oh, he's
leaving
playing.
both no
he's playing
evidence
3D
that you did it.
chess.
My ass just thinking about taking the money and what if I
right.
can pay for my fucking house.
That's right. I just want to pay
I'm
my fucking mortgage, man.
Bro, $5 million is plenty. I'm good.
Yeah, of course.
I'm good. My house is getting fully repaired. I'm
Yeah,
hiring
yeah.
a fucking cleaner. I'm buying a boat.
You do
I'm
all
getting
that, and
my,
then the
like-
mafia's really going to know who took it, though. They're gonna be
Yeah,
like,
true.
yeah. Is
That's
it the
okay.
guy who bought a boat and cleaned up his house?
Bro. you don't do it the next day.
Yeah, I guess.
You don't.
You don't do it at all. You don't buy the boat for sure.
Dude, I mean a boat that fits on my lake.
Oh,
like
okay.
a canoe.
I don't know what it's actually called, but
like $300 here.
there's a change in behavior people have when they're carrying certain items on their person.
Mm-hmm.
And like, for example, if I have $600, and I imagine the same for you two, you're gonna see me like being really fucking protective of my wallet. Like, it's gonna be like front pocket. I'm probably constantly got my hand on it. Like,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you can tell.
it's true. You know, there's a law against carrying more than like 6. I want to say it's.
Logan's
3
carrying these fucking nuts.
Yeah, there's a
God
certain
damn it,
point
though.
where if you have that much like cash on your person, like what law are you trying to subvert?
Yeah, there's
Like,
a law
you know,
in the
like,
town down the road,
Why
30
can't
miles.
this be a bank interaction?
I wanted to know what it was like to beat someone to death with my fucking wallet.
Yeah.
All right, get the fuck out of my face.
The police can like arrest you in like the town down 30 miles from here, like the main one. They can arrest you for like for having like more than $3,000 on your person for some reason.
No, they can't.
Yeah, I know,
Not
right?
me, bro.
That's what my fucking dad said. My dad was like, "No, they can't."
Look,
They
it's
can
kind of
fucking
one
try.
of those things.
I mean, if you got $3,000, someone's gonna itinerary, you're like, no, you can't.
Yeah,
Here's
exactly.
the trick. The only people who ever get charged with that are people who have $6,000 on their person,
All in
15
singles.
pounds of weed,
Yeah,
4
exactly.
pounds of cocaine,
Yeah,
and 500 pills of ecstasy
or
in their
one
car.
joint.
That's what that law is for.
Yeah, or
It's for
one
people
joint.
who are
I'm out one joint.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one
well,
1 gram of weed and then $6,000,
Yeah,
and they were
no.
like, "Well,
That's what that law is for. That's the reason it's there. It's not because we have some sort of issue with people who carry too much cash.
yeah, obviously."
It's something that they can add on whenever they catch people doing super fucking shady shit where that money is clearly intended as part of the crime.
What's the law that's like you
Yeah.
can't just stand around? Like,
Loitering.
Yeah,
Loitering.
loitering. It's like loitering. Like loitering is basically a law so that people will have an excuse to tell you to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're standing around bothering people for a long time, you can just say they're fucking loitering. They just won't fucking leave.
I just
Yeah.
want to follow up that people do the same thing if they have weapons on them.
What?
There's a change in their behavior.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what? So they
Well, for
Like-
one, statistically, if someone has a firearm, they're more aggressive.
really?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Probably because they feel like they can back it up. I'd imagine.
They feel
I
like they can
guess
back it up.
so.
A lot of people have a morbid curiosity about what it's like to actually kill someone.
Yeah.
oh
definitely.
God, no! I've killed
Really?
things before. There's nothing special about it, and I've seen many people get killed. Like it,
You've seen
without-
many people get killed.
Yeah, not for because I wanted to.
In the war.
Yeah. Of course. I was like, damn, my man seen
Kinda,
deployment.
not really though. I mean, obviously, I've never been fucking in the military, but unfortunately, because I've had so many military and police people, they end up showing me, they're like, "Hey, look at this!" It's like, oh my God, I just watched someone tank 7 rounds to the chest because they were completely blitzed on fucking meth and shit, and I was just like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to actually see that.
Yeah.
Ah, like I know it happens. I get it. And quite frankly, it looked like exactly how you described it to me. And one time, my brother, I imagine he wasn't fucking thinking, showed me the fucking security camera footage of the guy who got murdered next door.
Why?
Because it was the gas station next door to where I was working at the time. And like he
Just wanted you to. He thought you'd want to see that.
I was just like, dude, I knew that.
Of course.
guy.
Like that's what I'm thinking.
Well, there's
I was
like
like,
I said,
Jesus. I mean,
it's the same reason that like gore sites are a thing. Like people
Yes.
do have a morbid curiosity about shit like
what
that,
was it?
and a morbid desire to share it.
It's true.
But no, as soon as you said that a second ago, the first thing about how people change their behavior when they have so much money, my thoughts actually went exactly to that thing that you were just saying about like how people also act different if they have like guns or weapons on them and stuff like that. That's why this is on the table.
My vision's pretty fucked, man. What is that?
He's just got a gun in a fanny pack
Because
because he's a Mississippi boy.
that's not gun shaped.
No,
No, it's not. That's the point.
Yeah. What is that? Your sister's gun?
it's your mother's.
No, it's
I'm just
fine.
fucking with you, man. No. That's just as lethal as anything else. Don't.
Oh, it's a 38 Smith & Wesson.
Yeah,
I mean, it'll get the job
It don't
done.
matter if it's a 22. If you get shot, getting shot is getting shot.
Oh, yeah, no. I would never suggest that somebody use a 22 for self-defense, but if someone pointed one at me, I'd put my fucking hands
Yeah,
up.
I would take it with the appropriate amount of seriousness.
Yeah.
My grandmother had a 22 for self-defense, and she carried
will
that shit
say-
all the time.
Well, a gun is better than not a gun.
It's true. Yeah.
Like, as far as
22 is
that's
better
concerned.
than a knife. I mean, like, it
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
I mean-
Knife.
A knife. That's not a knife. This is a knife.
Now, I am very strict with myself about this thing. It hangs at my waist, and I do not think about it all day. Now, I did it first.
Do you do the thing where you keep it on an empty chamber?
No, this isn't that kind of gun.
Yeah, it's a revolver.
That's the kind of gun you do that
Oh,
with.
yeah, you mean keep one of them empty?
I do know what you're talking about, though. So on older revolvers with an exposed hammer, whenever the hammer was down, the firing pin is actually attached to the hammer.
Yeah.
So the firing pin is actually touching
I
the
got
fucking
you.
primer
Yeah, I'm following.
on that first round.
Yeah.
This one is double action only.
Okay.
So the hammer is not resting
I got you.
on that. Now, I actually have 2 single action guns, but they
Which
have
are just generally better. Because single action rules.
I mean, single action is fine.
It's
but
fucking rules. Single action is so much better.
Patrick's
Double
feeding
action
this
is
information. There's no fucking... There's a difference, but like, I don't think single action is the better one.
is for women.
I would say that... No, actually, I would say single action would be easier.
Yeah,
for
single
women to
action
use.
probably actually is
if
for
your
women.
It's probably
argument is
easier to pull the
physical
hammer back than it
weakness-
is to rack the slide on something.
Well, like, with this one, for instance, and, let's confirm there, 100% empty cylinder, right?
Yeah.
100% empty?
Right.
Okay, sorry. I'm very, very strict about this.
No, that's the appropriate way to clear a gun, yeah.
With this one right here, it actually has a really long trigger pull.
Yes.
It takes a really long time to get from, pulling
Yeah,
it
you
back
had
to
to
getting
almost
hit.
have that thing all the way back.
Yeah, like, but a single action pistol, when you pull the hammer back, all you gotta do is touch that trigger.
This is my favorite podcast where people
Yeah.
dry fire pistols. And I'm kind of upset that you did
I
it
want
so
everyone
far.
to know that he had it aimed at Patrick.
He did. Just a second ago, it was literally aimed straight at me, and I had to move it away. I got up and
aimed
moved
directly at his testicles.
It was
Yeah,
aimed
exactly,
directly at my
you know.
lungs.
And
I did a
whenever I
little bit
showed
of-
it to everyone, I had one bullet and I spun the
Yeah.
cylinder real
That was
quick. You
actually
couldn't
how
really
we
hear
started
it.
this out.
Ask Patrick
But,
how lucky you felt,
Yeah. I cut all that out in post, but yeah, that was how this all started out, really.
Yeah, there was a little bit of screaming. Noah got a little,
Noah peed himself.
I
He had to
pissed
go
myself
change-
a little bit,
Yeah,
you know.
had to go
Frumple.
change pants.
Patrick called me his pee-pee piss boy.
It was princess, thank you very much. It wasn't boy, but yes.
No, but realistically though, yeah, you I am absolutely fucking anal retentive
Yeah,
about
yeah.
like firearm safety. Like
Oh, you're
I
anal
carry
retentive,
around-
all right.
I've got some retention in my ass.
What how much money would it
These fucking idiots.
how much money would it take for you to play Russian roulette with one bullet in the chamber?
Do I get to keep the money even if I lose?
Yeah.
So it goes to my estate even if I lose.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to wire the money first, and it's gonna take 10 mil.
10 mil. Hell yeah.
If I'm gonna risk like killing myself,
I was wondering
I'm
where
gonna
you were
make sure
going
my
with that.
family has enough to pay off the house, like pay for their fucking therapy from the fact that I
You
killed.
just fucking
I just
Russian
fucking
rouletted
killed
yourself?
myself.
Yeah.
That was a very well thought out answer. I didn't expect that. That was a good answer.
I'm a morbid fucking dude, man.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd even need
That was
10
kinda
mil.
smart.
I don't know. 10 mil's a large amount. I'd probably do it for
Therapy in
one.
America, fucking expensive, man. 10 mil is
True.
probably
Pretty
about what you
fair.
need.
True. Yeah,
You're
you
gonna
need therapy
set them
for the rest of your life.
and give them extra money for the extra.
Yeah.
Mental
The
support.
baggage
Yeah.
if you will.
Let's be honest, they're gonna need therapy and medication.
They're gonna
Yeah.
have a Noah's corpse-shaped baggage in their lives for the rest, like forever. That doesn't really go away.
Yeah.
I mean, it rots and like turns into dirt eventually, but the image
And they gotta
doesn't
pay
go
for my
away.
grave and a custom headstone that just says "goddamn" in big bold print. Because
Goddamn,
that was
I
the last.
lost.
That was my last thought. Just
Yeah.
goddamn.
no. Have it be BAM in giant like serif font with an exclamation mark,
fuck?
and then in tiny letters below it, just goddamn with a ellipsis.
No, that's on the obituary.
yeah.
It just says "bam" in big bold font. It doesn't give like. It doesn't say where the funeral is. Doesn't say a time. It just says "bam"
got
and there's a picture of me.
Yeah,
What
you're
was the
just
last
smiling
thing?
in a suit, like with your legs crossed.
What was the
Very
last thing
professional
going
picture.
through his mind before he died?
Yeah.
38 special.
I was about to say a 300 grain slug. I guess. I guess. I mean, that's
Noah has,
That's how he chose.
Noah has
you know.
generally said a lot in the time that I've known him that he just wants his epitaph to read "goddamn." What do you
So
want?
this
your
is consistent.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want your epitaph to be, Eric?
A total badass.
The longest penis.
It's got to be goddamn in big, bold, like Western font,
Yeah.
like you know those saloon signs in Old West movies. Like, it's got to be in that font.
I'll get you a tombstone shaped like the saloon doors.
There you go.
The
There you
swinging
go.
saloon
There you
doors.
go.
It just says God on one of them and damn on the other one.
My last
bullet
thought.
mark in the you gotta put a bullet hole in the door too. Oh man.
I've thought about like it'd be cool to have a gravestone that just says like pour one out for me, so that like every time somebody's like drinking in the graveyard, they'll come and pour liquor on you. That'd kind of rule.
Except that one drunk dude who peed on you instead. That was kind of
Goddamn.
rude.
That's kind of rude.
Yeah.
It was half liquor, but I mean, still kinda rude. Like what's the idea behind that? That like the spirit's gonna get drunk? Like, what was the original context of like?
I think the idea was
I
to
can't
just,
comment on that, but I know in some cultures, they do believe in spirits. Like the concept behind an ofrenda, like a Mexican ofrenda.
A fucking what?
A Mexican ofrenda.
Ofrenda.
Yeah,
Wait, are you
offering.
not familiar with this?
Oh.
It's the little mural that they make to their
I thought it was
old
like a
ancestors
friend,
and
but he's
stuff.
like a little tiny guy. He's a frienda. Like he's a little tiny
No,
friend.
but like
No,
the concept there is that spirits do exist, and that you make offerings so that they understand that they were loved in life and that they can pass on.
Oh, that they were like
like-
important.
that they remembered.
That they remembered it, that they can accept the fact that they are dead now.
Have you not
Oh,
seen
yeah.
Coco?
No, I haven't seen fucking.
I haven't seen Coco either. It's just like something.
No,
I
he's
knew.
just from Mexico.
I'm just
I mean,
actually
yeah,
from Mexico.
I wasn't there during Dia
How
de los
dare you
Muertos.
have Hispanic heritage and did know things? That's fine. You actually you have ethnic Mexican blood, yes?
I mean, my blood's red.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Tell him no. Fuck.
brother.
Hell yeah. Republican podcast. Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Red blood.
God damn it.
That's how that works.
I'm voting
I think
Trump, brother.
If we allowed a Mexican into the room, I think that makes us a non-Republican podcast automatically.
Well,
I also want to point out that I did get here illegally.
did you? Did you get over the wall or under the wall?
No, that was a joke. Like,
Yeah.
I have a fucking green card and everything. man.
God damn, do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that rules. What does it look like?
Does
Is it
it?
green?
I just thought you'd been
Yeah,
here
it's
long
actually
enough to
green.
not
Is it?
matter.
No, I came over when I was 3. I had a green card when I was growing up, and I got citizenship when I was like 10 or 11.
Oh, okay, so you are U.S. citizen.
Yes.
Wait, do you
I
still have to have a green card?
Kinda
No.
figured you were.
Okay.
I
I
just
was
like
about to
kept
say.
it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can see why you would.
You should like get that thing fucking framed, dude. Just hang it
Why?
up on the wall. Because it's kind of like it's a part of your history, dude.
It's kind of cool.
It's kind of cool. Like not everybody gets a green card.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot
plenty
of
of people get green cards.
people struggle to get that.
I mean, yeah, a
Yeah,
lot of
true.
yeah.
It's kind of, as much as it happened when you were a kid, and it's not like you went and fought for it or anything. It's still, it's interesting.
Little Noah filling out
I
the
fought in a
paperwork.
war, man.
Yeah.
The green card war of
The cartel
92.
war.
My aunt actually stayed here on an expired visa.
Oh my,
And married my uncle.
he's still illegal, Patrick. You heard it.
God damn.
This is my not related by blood Mexican aunt.
Oh my,
Dios mío.
the plot thickens.
Actually, she's super cool.
Yeah, I
She's really
bet.
nice.
She sounds like fucking gangster, to be honest. I would have left either, man. Like,
Yeah, fuck that.
as someone who has seen, okay, granted, I've only seen Juarez. As someone who's seen Juarez, like when people say go back to
Juarez
your
is
country,
enough.
these people do not understand what they're telling people to go back to.
Yeah. Go back
I
to
mean,
Juarez
I gotta
is
be honest,
quite a demand.
I've been to Mexico. I've been to Jamaica now, and I looked around. And having lived in
Would you want to live there?
having lived in rural Mississippi most of my life, I kind of just looked around most of the time. Was just like, none of this is something I haven't seen before.
It's rural Mississippi, but there's more violence. There's less stability.
yeah.
yeah,
so-
it all looked pretty normal to me though.
Yeah.
I was like, this.
The Delta is a good one-on-one comparison as far as like your surroundings go.
It's
That's
really
not- that's not
it's
a
weird
joke.
going
Like-
over to the Delta and then realizing that like that's in a first world though too.
all I can
True.
think of is if your only argument is like, oh well,
It's
Yeah,
weird.
there
It's
are
weird
nice
knowing Mississippi
places.
is in the first world.
yeah,
Right.
it is. It is weird knowing
It's
Mississippi
like,
is the first world.
There are nice places, but like there's also places you get straight murdered. It's just like,
and
did
Mississippi
you
as
forget
well.
the part that I said I was from the United States?
Tremont,
Like
dude.
that's that's normal. Like there are plenty of places I could get murdered less than 50 miles from my house.
Dude,
like,
Jackson
there's
is the
10
number one
places
murder
I could
capital.
Get murdered 50
Is
miles
it?
from my house.
Yeah, Jackson is now the number one murder capital in the United
Like
States.
I know we
said,
traded
the,
back and forth with New Orleans and
We did.
Memphis.
The thing is, there's less stability. Like, for example, the thing about don't drink the water in Mexico, that's true. You don't drink the water in Mexico.
Yeah, we're in China.
Montezuma's revenge.
Yeah.
You don't drink water in a lot of places. United States.
Oh,
and
here in
like a lot
Mississippi,
of-
like I don't know how it is here, but I know it's like well, you can drink the tap water where I live.
yeah, you can drink
That's
the
fine.
tap water in most of Mississippi. Really.
Yeah, you can't do that in Mexico.
No.
As far as like an investigation, like you get shot in broad daylight, nobody's going to say shit.
Yeah. There's not really as much of a police presence.
Despite that, Mexico is the leading pharmaceutical provider in the Western continent, if not the world.
I'm sure
Medicine
I've
is
smoked
kind
plenty
of an
Mexican
issue.
weed.
Really? Like insulin?
It really depends. Like, here's the thing: like, a lot of Americans cross over to Mexico for a lot of different reasons, and
Yeah.
one of those reasons is because you can
Cheaper medicine.
you can go there and get operations done. They're like literally like places that's advertised, especially like, hey, we speak English here. We take American currency.
You know what
Ah.
they say, go get that surgery in Tijuana.
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever.
That's not just a meme. Like, you can go get that surgery in Tijuana.
Yeah.
And honestly, you probably should if you need
Yeah.
that
You're
surgery.
taking a risk. I'd recommend against it personally.
It's like a coin flip. You might get a cheap surgery.
You might
that
lose
you
your
couldn't
kidneys.
Have gotten
You might
anywhere
want to go
else.
without kidneys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you might just wake up without kidneys, and the surgery you got wasn't the one you wanted.
Are you guys the kind of people that would get plastic surgery?
Me?
I've already gotten
Yeah,
plastic
you've got.
surgery.
You said this. I know. Like,
Yeah.
if you ever gotten, would you get like facial plastic surgery?
No, I've accepted that I'm irreparably ugly.
pretty normal looking. I
You're
thought,
pretty
but
normal
okay.
looking, Noah. But yeah, okay. Yeah.
Man, like growing
middle of
up,
the
people
road
did
at
not.
worst.
People were not
You're
kind
brown,
to me. then.
Noah. You're not.
Okay, well that really worked against me. God damn.
You're middle of the road at worst.
got a
and
fucking
you look
complex,
healthy,
bro.
which is an automatic like 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Nah.
Like you know, you have no particularly bad traits, and you don't look like you're unhealthy.
They see my
That's
skin
like-
and they're like immediate -4, 3 out of 10 would not bang.
I mean, I guess if you try to like date racists exclusively, but
We
Which he
are in
does.
Mississippi,
Which
sir.
he
The dating pool is full of racists. Okay.
okay, I can see how that might have narrowed your dating pool down
Yeah.
a little bit. That's fair,
A
actually.
little bit.
Okay. I mean, you know.
He went to county school in Mississippi. He didn't have much choice. Did you ever date somebody whose parents were like, "You're not going to date a brown person"?
Patrick, everyone I ever dated had parents who were
Really?
like, you shouldn't date a brown person.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, really.
Damn,
every
that
single
sucks,
one?
man.
Yes.
How many people did you date?
Not a lot. I'm brown. It wasn't a joke. Like, that's how it was.
Well, goddamn.
They see me being brown and nerdy, and they're like, nah.
Oh, that's the Anything Cast, folks. Thank you for listening. I'm Patrick.
I'm a completely dried out pussy. Thanks
I'm
to
brown.
Noah. Okay.